going to do a quick review of The Girl He Used to Know by Tracey Garvis Graves. So this was another book that I was able to get through the She Speaks Advanced Reader Program. So this will be published or available for sale on April 2nd. Today it's March 22nd, and I did get it about 3 weeks ago. It just took me a while to make the time to do the review. If you are interested in doing part of this program, it's totally free. I'll put a link down below for where you can join the She Speaks community. And I'm not benefiting in any way from that link, so it's just if you're interested. It's really cool. So this is the third book I've gotten from them, and it's really neat because it pushes you to read books that you might not normally choose, or to discover new authors. So a few things about this book. It's just under 300 pages, 291 to be exact. It is a fiction book, but it seems like it brings in a lot of true to life points. For example, there's part of the book that takes place in New York in 2001, so you can put that together. I had a little bit of mixed emotions when I started, so I can kind of show you what one of the chapters looks like. So you can see here, it's a little bit like a journal entry where it says who's speaking, where they're at, and the year. And it switches between Annika and then Jonathan here. So they're the two main characters. Annika, I would say, is the primary, with Jonathan being the secondary. So I wasn't really sure. It flashes back to college age years and then to present time, which in this case is 2001. And so like right away it seems a little bit, I don't know, it threw me off a little bit of like, couldn't figure out what the point of the story was. But as we progress through the book, it's pretty cool how she does it, because it really helps explain things and it puts it in the right place. So you don't know what's going on until the author decides she wants you to know, which is typical of a lot of books. But it was just neat how it did it. It jumps back and forth, but it's also nice to be able to see the viewpoints of both Annika and Jonathan and kind of how their mentalities have changed in the 10 years between present day and the flashbacks. There's a lot of important issues that are addressed here, so I'd say one of the key things, kind of the main theme throughout the book, is addressing kind of mental health issues and disorders, and kind of seeing the viewpoint from someone who might be on the autism spectrum, um, just because I think most of us who have not had much experience with someone who's on that spectrum may not know how to react to someone. So I think this is a great way to kind of broach the subject without being too serious. But we don't know this right away. We kind of see that Annika just has a lot of quirks, and you're like, oh, that's super strange. Just why are you doing that? Why are you saying that? And kind of as the story unfolds, at least for me, it seemed like, oh, I'm just as bad as everyone else because I'm jumping to conclusions. Whereas it reminds you to try and keep an open mind and treat people with kindness throughout, because you just don't know what their story is, what they have going on. And it also shows the benefits of, so to speak, peeling back someone's layers and being patient with them and getting to know them, because it can really bring a lot of joy to your life and a lot of benefit to the world, really. So she uses the book to unfold a lot of different social issues, relationship issues, workplace issues. So kind of the themes that I took from this is, again, life's not fair. That seems like a lot of books have that theme, but you just kind of have to play the hand that's dealt to you to the best of your ability. But also, we're not necessarily playing to win in this sort of thing. We're not trying to put others down to build us up, that you would kind of say in a typical game that you're trying to beat others. You're trying to connect with others in this case. In this game, it's trying to see you're working as a team. Um, Another thing in there is that everyone really struggles with having confidence and being doubtful and feeling like they're not doing the right thing. So I feel like if we can acknowledge that and kind of just try to be more accepting of people for who they are and not being like, oh, I have to point out that you sound stupid here because then it makes me sound less stupid. And in reality, all it does is make everyone feel worse. A few other things are to really enjoy your life and live your life, you have to get outside of your comfort zone. Um, it might seem happy to live in this little bubble of like, oh, I know exactly what I'm doing and whatever, but you don't even know what you're missing out on, whether it's in your relationships, in personal growth, just general happiness. There's so much more possibility out there if you're willing to push yourself outside your comfort zone. Another thing that's really reiterated constantly throughout the book is that you really do need social connections. Even introverts, even people who are not comfortable in crowds, need to find someone that they can relate to. Um, so a lonely life is really unhealthy. Um, and with that being said, whether you're the introvert that has trouble making connections, push yourself. But maybe you're not the introvert. Maybe you're someone who connects really well with people. Try to be more accepting and inviting to people who might seem uncomfortable in those social interactions. And then finally, that you don't have to live someone else's definition of success. Many times throughout the book, Jonathan remarks on the jockeying for power, the dog and pony show, workplace bragging rights. And one of the quotes I actually put on there is, the dog and pony show we all have starring roles in drives me insane, but choosing not to participate really isn't an option. And I think by the end of the book we see, yes, it is an option. Um, you might have to break away from the crowd you're in right now, but if we can start to break this cycle of, I have to say I'm the busiest at work and I'm going to be here the longest even if I'm not being that productive, uh, it would help reprioritize things in our life, make more time for your family while still getting enough done at work, and being more productive in the process. And I think people would generally be happier and produce better work in that. But it really showcases the hostility in a lot of workplaces and shows how a lot of workplace uh, environments force employees to miss out on the more important things of life and actually cause them to be less productive. Uh, so those are just kind of a few of the main things. There's, like I said, it just wraps up like every social issue into one novel that exposes you and enlightens you to all of these ideas, without being like in your face pushy. It's just a nice, you don't even realize you're doing it until you start to think back and you're like, oh, that's a really good point. Uh, so the final thoughts I had on this, I really enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would when I first started the first one or two chapters. I was like, oh, that's kind of strange. Um, but it, like I said, it was really nice. It helped me kind of take a step back and look at my own life and kind of reevaluate. But it also had the entertainment value that fiction typically offers, at the same time as giving you this like, oh, I've never thought about this, and helps like deep thinking. Um, I would definitely recommend this book, men, women, everybody. It's a really good book. I think it'll help you reevaluate. I actually like it better than some of the self-help books because you don't realize that it's pushing you to think outside the box. Um, I would say that it has some adult content in it, sexual in nature. So if you're not prepared to have that conversation with children, maybe you don't give it to them quite yet. But there are so many lessons to be learned here. I think we could actually reread it and rediscover new points in the book. Like I said, covers really deep topics, like mental health, the autism spectrum, social relationships, safe sex even, and just workplace hostility. Um, so just a lot of things, which sounds really serious, but it's really not that serious. It just exposes you to the ideas and helps you evaluate your own life. The ending was a little bit abrupt for me, but that's a lot of books. I would like to see a couple more chapters, but I feel like it's a really good length. You could sit down and get through this easily in a week, or if you want to just knock it out on a Saturday or something. It's a really easy read. Like I said, you can kind of see it's nice. I always like the St. Martin's Press, how they publish. It seems like they give you a lot of like space between the lines, so it's a lot quicker of a read. Um, and things are really true to life. It really brings your emotions to the surface that you're living in the book with Annika and Jonathan. Um, very well laid out, very enlightening. Definitely recommend. If you would like to see like the full written review I have with a lot of the quotes and more details, check out the link in the description or in the cards. Otherwise, if you haven't already, please hit the like button, give us a thumbs up, and subscribe. And thank you so much for joining me. Like I said, if you want to be considered for part of the She Speaks program, check out the link below and join me again later for another